In this equation, we have decimals. We also have a pair of parentheses. To solve the equation, we always want to get the letter x by itself. If x is inside a pair of parentheses, we have to get them out of the parentheses. So first thing we want to do is to get rid of the parentheses. We still have two methods to deal with decimal equations. We can either keep the decimals, so we're going to distribute 0.12 to every term inside the parentheses, so we can get rid of the parentheses. So to distribute this to 1000, and between 0.12 and the parentheses, there's nothing, no symbol, so that means it's multiplication. So we're going to do 0.12 times 1000. And then we're going to distribute 0.12 to negative x. So this is what we have here. And the red number 0.12 is the one that has to be duplicated, which is distributed. Each copy is distributed to one of the terms inside the parentheses. So now we're going to simplify this and to multiply decimals. We can ignore the decimals, so it's like doing 12 times 1000, which gives us 12,000. But we also need to put the decimal point back, which we have two decimal places. So we're gonna put in the answer, which gives us 120. The other way to multiply a number by multiples of 10, which is like 100, 1,000, and so on, we can move the decimal point to the right 3 times because we have 3 zeros. So that also gives us 120. So either way, that will give us 120. Now, right here, because we have 0.1x and 0.12x, they both have x, so they are considered like terms. So we're going to have to subtract 0.12x from 0.1x. And when we combine like terms, x doesn't change. So we are just going to add or subtract the quantities in front of the x's. Now, in this case, so we literally were trying to do 0.1 minus 0.12. You can think of this as 0.1 means 0.10. So we have 10 cents and we spend 12 cents. So we're left with we're 2 cents in debt. You can also think of this as plus negative 0.12. 0.12 again, it's debt because it's minus, and 0.10 is credit. So we have more debt than credit. So the final answer should be in debt, negative. And how much more debt than credit? So we actually doing 0.12 minus 0.1 or 0.10. So after we do subtraction, we got 0.02. And again, it's negative because we have more debt than credit. So this is how I get this after combining these two like terms. Now we can get x by itself. So first we get rid of 120 by subtracting it. And so they cancel. And now we're going to get rid of negative 0.02 by dividing the number because it's multiplication between them. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 0.02. So now we have 440 divided by negative 0.02. Now to divide decimals, we first want to move the decimal point two places to the right, so that way we can get rid of decimal places. But correspondingly, we have to also move the decimal point in the numerator, so the same number of times. So we got 440 for 44,000 divided by negative 2, and which gives us negative 2200. In the second method, we're going to get rid of decimals. And some students might have a little bit trouble here subtracting 0.12 from 0.1. And if you don't like decimals, you could multiply both sides by 100 to get rid of the decimals. So the reason is, so we have two decimals, like 0.1, and in order to turn that into a whole number 1, we have to multiply by 10. So that will move the decimal point 1 place to the right with that, and will turn that decimal to a whole number. But in order to turn 0.12 to a whole number, 12, we have to move the decimal point 2 places to the right, which means we're multiplying by 100. And in order to turn both of the numbers to whole numbers, and that means we need at least 100. 10 is not enough for turning 0.12 to a whole number. So we're going to multiply both numbers by both sides of the equation by 100. And we can move the decimal point 2 places to the right, which gives us 10. All right, so that's what we're going to do. And I multiply both sides by 100. Now, right-hand side only has one number, so we're just going to multiply this number by 100. But the left-hand side, we have two separate parts. We call them terms, and we have 0.1x, and they're together. And then we have all of these, they're together. They're joined by a multiplication. But the plus sign separates these two terms. For each of the terms on the left-hand side, we need to multiply by 100. And so we multiply 100 here and 100 here. What we need to be careful is we are not going to multiply 1,000 and whatever in the parentheses by 100, because these two are together, are considered as one term. And actually, whatever in the parentheses, after we multiply both of them by 100, so we're going to get 10x. So 100 times 0.1 is 10, and 100 times 0.12 is going to be 12. So notice that 0.12 will be increased 100 times. And then, in order to get rid of the parentheses, we're going to distribute 12 to both of them. And notice that in the process of this, that 100 we multiplied into 0.12 and will be distributed to everything in the parentheses. So that's why we don't really need another 100 here, and actually we cannot multiply another 100 there, because it's multiplication. We only distribute a number if we have addition or subtraction inside a pair of parentheses. Okay, so we do that, and we are going to get, so again, we cannot distribute 100 to the both 0.12 and 1,000 minus x, because this between 100 and 0.12, it's between 0.12 and 1,000 minus x, that's also multiplication. It's not a plus or minus. So we just, it's sort of like we're doing 2 times 3 times 4. Even though we have something inside, maybe 4 minus 1, we still, we multiply 2 and 3 to get 6. And then distribute 6 to both of them. We cannot distribute and multiply 2 and 3 to get 6, and multiply 2 with what's in the parentheses again, because again, it's multiplication here. Okay, so we just multiply 2 and 3 to get 6, but we can distribute 6 to everything inside, because inside the parentheses it's subtraction. So that's why we did it here. 100 times 0.12 to get 12. Now we distribute 12. So we got 12 times 1,000 and minus 12 times x. So now 12 times 1,000 will give us 12,000. 10x minus 12x, because they both have x's, we can combine them. And we know 10x minus 12x, like terms, we bring down the like term x, and then the variable x, and 10 minus 12, we know it's negative 2. So instead of doing 0.1 minus 0.12, we are doing 10 minus 12, which is easier. And now we move 1,200 to the right-hand side, so that way we get rid of 12,000. So so these two are canceled out, and then we can get rid of the -2 in front of the -2 in front of x. So we cancel these two, and we got -2x, bring down -2x, and we divide both sides by -2. So that will give us the same answer, -2200. So we take half of negative, sorry, that should be -22,000. Okay, so we take half of 4, which gives us 2, take half of 4 gives us 2, and take half of 0, which is give us a 3 0. So the answer is -22,000.